So hello everyone, this is the new video of our channel on 2D drawing tools. So in our previous videos we have discussed on line, polyline, arc and circle. In this video we will discuss about more 2D drawing tools. So if you have not watched our previous videos, then go to the I button and watch our previous videos. So let's start a new drawing. So just click on new drawing. So here you can see my drawing sheet has opened. So to activate rectangle command, you can select it from the draw panel, or you can type REC in the command line and then press enter. So here you can see my rectangle command is activated. So now it's asking to specify the first corner of our rectangle. So I'll first specify by left clicking on the worksheet. Now it is asking to specify the second corner of our rectangle. So I'll draw a rectangle of horizontal side length 500 and vertical side length of 400 downward. So as you can see, our coordinate system is right side positive and up side positive. So for the horizontal side of the rectangle, I'll put plus 500, and as I want to go downward, so I'll put minus 400 for the vertical side of our rectangle. So now I will put 500 for the horizontal side and then press tab, then I'll put minus 400, then press enter. So you can see our rectangle of side 500 by 400 is drawn. So now we will activate our rectangle command again. So to activate any command which you have used last time, so to activate that command you can press enter or press the space button. So to activate that rectangle command, I will press space. So here you can see in the command line that our rectangle command is now activated. So after activating the rectangle command, we will press our down arrow, and in this list you can find different options. So we will select fillet option. So to select this option, we will left click on that. So using this fillet option, we can draw a rectangle, but in this case the corners of our rectangle will not be no more right angle, but it will be a part of any circular arc. So after selecting the fillet option, it will ask to enter the radius of that arcs. We will enter the radius of that arcs. So now I will enter 30 and then press enter. So as we have drawn our rectangles, in this same process we will draw our filleted rectangles also. So first we will specify the first corner, then the second corner. So here you can see these corners are no more right angle. They are converted to a arc of radius 30 unit. So if you want to draw a rectangle like this, then you have to use chamfer. So first we will activate rectangle command by typing REC in the command line and then press enter. So the rectangle command is activated. Now we will press our down arrow and then select chamfer. So we have to specify our D1 distance first. After that we will specify our D2 distance. So we will enter first 100, then press enter. So now we have to specify our D2 distance. So we will specify 50 and then press enter. Now as we have drawn our rectangle, in the same way we have to draw chamfered rectangle. So I will first select the first corner, then second corner. So you can see the angles are now chamfered by your given distance. So now I will explain ellipse. So here you can find ellipse option. So in the drop down option you can find different options to draw an ellipse. So first we will activate the command ellipse. So you can select it from this draw panel, or you can type ELLIPSE and then press enter to activate the ellipse command. So first it will ask to specify the end points of one axis of this ellipse. So first I will specify the first end of our axis by left clicking on that point. Then we can specify the length of the axis and the angle with the horizontal. So I will enter 1500 as the length, then press tab to enter the angle with the horizontal. Then we will press 10° for that and then press enter. So now we have to specify another point on the second axis. So in this time we can enter the distance of any point on the second axis from the center. So from the center we will specify our distance to 300 and then press enter. So you can see our ellipse has drawn. So this was about axis end method. Now I will discuss center axis method. So to draw an ellipse by center axis method, just click on this drop down menu and select this center option. Now in this case we have to specify the center of our ellipse. So I will specify by left clicking. So now I will put the distance between center to any point on the first axis. So I will put 800. Then I will press tab to enter the angle with the horizontal. So I will type 20° and then press enter. So here you can see our first axis is created. Now it will ask to specify the distance between the center of the ellipse and any point on the second axis. So I will specify 600 and press enter. Now you can see our ellipse has drawn. So next I will discuss about an ellipse arc. So in previous videos we have discussed about circular arc. So now I will discuss about the ellipse arc. So to draw an ellipse arc, so to activate ellipse arc, you can go to this drop down menu beside ellipse option and then you can select elliptical arc. So I will select this option. So first we have to define our ellipse. So first we will define our ellipse by axis end method. So first I will specify the axis of the arc. Here you can see our axis has drawn. So now we have to enter the angle from where the arc will start, and the angle will be with respect to the first axis of this ellipse. So now I will enter 180° for the start of the arc, and now I will enter 90° for the end of the arc. So here you can see one elliptical arc is drawn. So now I will discuss about shading or hatching. So for hatching we need a closed polyline or closed area or closed boundary. So now I will discuss about hatching. Hatching is the way to shade any of your closed area or closed boundary. So first we will draw one closed boundary. So to draw a closed boundary we will select rectangle and then draw several rectangles. So here some closed boundary is created. So to activate hatch command you can click on this option or you can type HATCH in your command line and then press enter. So here you can see another tab named hatch creation is opened. So in this pattern part you can see different types of hatching. So in this drop down option you can find more options for hatching. So you can scroll down and find more options to hatch your closed area. So first I will select this ARB816. Then it will ask to pick any internal point of your closed boundary. So I will select this part. So now you can see one hatch is applied, but these are too big. So if you want more dense hatching, so you can decrease the scale from here. So I will click 0.1 then press enter. So here you can see our hatching is become more dense. So if you find it is more dense for your case, you can scale up your hatching or you can scale down your hatching if you find less dense. So to close the hatching option you can select this close hatch creation option. So now you can see my hatch creation option is closed. Hatch is a separate object. So if you select it and move it from your closed area, so after moving you can find the closed area remain in its position, but the hatching or the shaded part is moved from its position. So now I will close hatch editor option. So if you hatch more than one closed area at a time, then that hatching will be a single object. Now I will first activate hatch command. and hatch this part and this part by left clicking. And now if I close hatch creation tab and select any of the hatch or shaded part, then both the part will be selected. And whenever you select any hatch or shaded part, then the hatch editor tab will open. So now I'll close this part. So I have discussed that how to shade your closed area or closed boundary by any patterns. Now I'll discuss that how to shade your closed boundary by any color. So first we will create some closed boundary, like this is a circle, this is any rectangle. So to shade your closed boundary, you can go to this drop down menu and select gradient, or in the command line you can type GRAD and press enter. So now here you can see different shading option with colors. So you can click on this drop down option and here you can find different style to shade your close boundary. So I will first select on this, and from this properties option you can select the colors you want to shade your close boundary. So first I will select this option, and for the secondary color I will select blue. So now whenever I click or move our cursor to any closed boundary, you can see one preview is available that how the part will look like after hatching. So to apply the hatch or gradient, just left click on that part and then press escape to close this hatch creation tab. So here you can see this closed boundary or closed part is now shaded with these colors. Now if you want to fill or shade your closed boundary by any single color or any solid fill, so just you can select this hatch option and from here you can select solid, or you can type solid fill in the command line and press enter. So now from here you can select solid. After that, in this properties panel you can select colors. So I will select this option. Now I will select on any closed boundary or any closed region to fill that solid color. So if you move your cursor over any closed area or closed boundary, you can see the preview that after applying that solid color how it will look like. So now in this part I will apply the solid color by left clicking and then press escape to close the hatch creation tab. So now here you can see this closed boundary is filled with that solid color which I have selected. Now I will discuss about boundary. Like if you have different polylines or closed area and you want to separate any closed area as a polyline without drawing that different parts again and again, so you can use boundary option. So to activate boundary, just click on this drop down menu and select boundary, and then this pop-up window will appear. So now keep the all option as it is and then click OK. So now move your cursor over that closed boundary which you want to make any separate boundary. So now if I want to make a boundary for this closed part, then I will click on that part and then press enter. Now if I delete all the other items, so after deleting you can find that this polyline is created. So this is the boundary of that closed part. So thank you everyone for watching this video. So if you have not watched our previous videos, then go to the I button and watch them. Please subscribe our channel for this type of tutorials and videos.